What up, everybody? Welcome to a special episode of 90 Minutes on Film. My name is Wacko, here with C.E. Garcia.
Hello, sir.
And Gabe.
What up, dog?
Hi.
Hey.
How are you guys?
Good, man. I'm excited for this one because...
Why, Chris? Why are you excited for this
you know
one?
fucking why. You fucking know why. Been waiting for this movie since before the pandemic.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, they announced in 2017, so...
You know when he's serious is when he's cussing. Or cursing, whatever how you're supposed to say it. So. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing Killers of the Flower Moon. 30-minute special edition right here.
You know, you got nice color skin. What color would you say that is?
My color.
Osage. They have the worst land possible. But they outsmarted everybody. The land had oil on it. Black gold. Money flows freely here now. I do love that money, sir. This wealth should come to us. Their time is over. It's just going to be another tragedy.
When this money started coming, we should have known it came with something else. They're like buzzards circling our people. We're still warriors.
I ought to kill these white men who killed my family. I need you here.
I am right here. You've got to take back control of your home.
I was sent down from Washington, D.C. to see about these murders.
See, what about them?
See who's doing it.
All right, guys. I know Chris is excited because he was just cursing just a while ago for this one. And I'm pretty excited. It took me a while just to go see this film.
And then it took you a while to watch it also, right?
And it took a while to watch it.
Did you check your watch when you went in?
Actually, I did. So,
shit.
So when I got in there, it was around. So I think the showing was at 1:30.
Okay.
And I got there at 1:30. Got myself some popcorn and got because that's what I get. I don't know what do you guys get when you go for the theaters? Is there a certain thing you do? I do popcorn, small popcorn.
Yeah.
And then my suicide icy.
Gabe gets fucking bucket of popcorn. Like Reese's Pieces.
M&M's. Peanut M&M's.
And a large soda.
Yeah.
You can tell me and him have been on a lot of dates together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can tell.
And me, all I take is my fucking bottle of water. That's it.
That is true. You only just have water.
Yeah.
Well, Chris isn't a huge fan of AMC popcorn.
Oh, fucking hate. So we go to AMC because we have the stubs.
Yeah, same.
Oh, yeah. So
same here.
I fucking hate AMC popcorn, dude. It's just like, because you'll get there, I'll get there first showing, 10:50 in the morning, and it still tastes like shit. Like, how the fuck is that possible?
So have you guys? All right. So you know when you have the popcorn, right?
Yeah.
And you know I don't know how to explain this, but the yellow little half shell of a popcorn.
Like it's not fully popped.
It's not fully popped, but it's hollow.
Yeah.
So I got that stuck when I was watching this movie. Through the whole movie, I
yeah.
wasn't sure if it was on the roof of the back of my throat or if it was
Oh my god.
on my tongue.
So the whole
movie, I'm sitting there going,
Yeah.
and then I'm sticking my finger in my throat, gagging and stuff, trying to see if I could scrape it out. By the time the movie was almost done, I finally just put my finger on my tongue, and then I felt it on my tongue. So the whole time I was just on my tongue, and I just swept it off, and I was like,
you're like, relief. Fuck, the movie's over.
And the movie was over. So that was my experience with that movie. But once I went in there, I think it started around... It ended about like 5...
It's a solid 4 hours, right?
Yeah, it was like 5:30 something. I think it was maybe around there. So it went smooth.
What's the run length on it overall? Because I went back and I watched it again myself.
3:26.
Okay.
Yeah.
And So I went to a smaller theater. Don't know what city I'm in right now because I'm living in LA, but they've got these other little small cities.
He's homeless.
He's on the
exactly.
run. Yeah. He's on the run.
But it was 6 o'clock start, and it was like right at 6. Like there was
my
no
God. So what time
previews
did you
or
get out?
anything.
Oh, no
And-
previews?
Yeah,
Oh,
no
that's- you're-
previews.
wow.
So it was like a
That's
little bit
nice.
after 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
So
because
that's
AMC
nice.
was like 25 minutes.
Yeah,
Fucking
usually
previews.
the average is about 20 minutes or something like that.
And I was
right?
at AMC. It was just an older one. They had like the brand new one that was like across the street and this huge monstrosity. And then this was like an AMC 6.
That's probably nice.
And
then,
so
huh?
it was nice. Just went in there, like nobody was even there. Boom, sat down. Old school movie theater vibe. It was recliners, but it wasn't the elevated. It was kind of flat everywhere.
Oh, okay.
And then just with the big screen. And
you're like, I could own this.
exactly.
Nice.
Exactly.
That's the dream, yo.
Nice.
Right? Yep.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot to say in all this whole thing, but let's
Yeah.
go ahead and get into it.
Yeah.
Director and writer, not sure about this guy.
He's
He's an up and comer.
we don't know what kind of career he's gonna have.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
not too sure. Kind of, looking forward to see what happens with him.
Sure.
But Chris, what's his name?
Of course, Martin Scorsese.
Oh, interesting.
But I would like to speak specifically about the writer,
Ooh.
Eric
Okay.
Roth.
Okay.
I could name. I'm gonna throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies at you
Mm-hmm.
that he's responsible for writing, and I want you to tell me one that you don't like.
Okay.
Okay. Dune.
Hate it. Just kidding.
A Star is Born. Curious Case of Benjamin Buttons. Munich. Ali. The Insider. And Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
So he wrote all of those.
I know. Crazy.
He is 78 years old, and he still is writing, and he's still in demand.
That's crazy.
Dude, and given that Scorsese's 81 and have had a fucking hell of a career, but for this guy to be 78 and he's still in demand to be writing like this, dude, is fucking crazy.
Yeah, man.
Wow, what a trip.
Dude,
Yeah.
and they both wrote it together, so 2 old guys just like teaming up, and they're like, so Eric Roth banged out the first draft on his own, and then at that point they signed Leo, and I think it's like 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
And then Leo didn't like the way the story was going.
The first
draft, yes. And it's actually more along the lines of what the book is. The book is...
Have you read the book, Chris?
I have read the book.
Of course he has.
So the book is like a police procedural. It's basically Tom White. So it's in the film, it is Jesse Plemons' character. It's a procedural. So he's trying to solve these murders.
So in the book, we're looking at it from the perspective of the investigation.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
So I'm okay with that. That sounds pretty dope.
Okay.
Right? So that's what the first draft was. The first draft was a police procedural
I like
from
that.
the eyes
It would have
of
been a
Tom
different
White.
film.
Leonardo DiCaprio was actually cast as Tom White originally.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he read the script and he's like, I don't think I can pull this off. Like the Gene Autry, like the hero character, and it's a hardcore Western.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'd like to play the bad guy. And at that point, Marty and Eric Roth are like, wow, we got to completely rethink how we're going to do this. And then, of course, we're lucky enough to get the pandemic, and they switch everything up.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But I'd be very interested to see that version. I don't know. I mean, let's get into it. Let's see what you guys thought about the whole movie.
Just hearing that itself, I think is just kind of interesting because for sure the film would have been completely different. It would have been, just like a cops and robbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a police procedural.
Right.
And it's like 1920, I think, at the end of the movie is when
1920.
because the original title is Killers of the Flower Moon, the Osage County Murders, and the Birth of the FBI. That's what it's called. So, guys, have you guys ever seen The Good Shepherd?
Yeah.
No,
Which
I
is
haven't.
Robert De Niro's directorial debut, and it is about the birth of the FBI.
Ooh.
That is a really good movie.
Yeah,
a really good
I have
movie.
to check that out.
Yeah, super good.
Interesting. Oh, good job, Chris.
Dude, I'm hyped for this movie. Like,
Ooh, you're not going to like my answers then, Chris.
oh no,
Oh,
it's going to be at 15 minutes on Film Special Edition.
you go.
All right, cool. So, let's just keep on trucking here.
Yeah, yes,
Estimated budget and gross.
$200 million estimated budget.
Mm-hmm.
Opening weekend, $23.2 million only.
Yeah.
Worldwide gross as of, I don't know, a couple days ago, $137 million. Okay. So, that being said,
yeah.
it's an Apple Films movie.
Yeah.
So last year, 2022 fiscal year, Apple reported they made $96.99 billion. So do you think that $200 million is going to even phase them whatsoever?
But that's besides the point, though. That doesn't make a difference. But then again, I was expecting numbers along those lines for this film because it's a Scorsese for one, and it's not really, especially today, it's not like how it was maybe when we were watching Goodfellas or anything. You know what I mean? It was just like Scorsese.
Yeah.
His era, I don't want to say it's done, but
dwindling.
He's
only the hardcore heads are going to go see it.
Right.
Because a lot of people are going to be like, oh, it's going to be on Apple TV in December. I'll just watch it.
I'll just wait till then.
Which was what the Russian said. And he was saying, like, oh,
should we explain who the Russian is?
I watch it on Apple TV when it comes out.
Who is the Russian?
The Russian is one of the editors and part-timers that helps my department out, along with Moses right here.
And his code name is the Russian.
The Russian. So we're still not quite too sure if he's a spy, but we're dabbing in there.
All right.
Just throwing that out.
And just to put it in context, I was having a discussion with my oldest last night, and she was like, do you have any idea how long it would take to count to 1 billion? And I'm like, no, let me look and see. It would take 31 years to count to 1 billion.
Okay.
So if Apple made 90, let's round it up to 97 billion, right? 97 billion times 31 years, it would take 3,007 years to count to just what they made last year.
And is that like a pace of 1?
I have no idea, but that's a fucking lot.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Dude, imagine if it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, though.
That's crazy, though, man. Wow.
So that's why it's like 200 million. I'm going to give them some more.
Yeah.
It's like nothing, dude.
Interesting. All right.
So are you saying that you don't think they're going to make the money back on whatever the budget was?
I don't think. If it was, you said it was 200.
Right now, its estimated budget is 200 million. I mean,
all right.
Who knows how much they spent on marketing? Because we saw marketing, we didn't see too much. We did.
There wasn't too much of the marketing behind that, though.
Nah, and it's really going to hit it heavily after the first of the year when they start pushing like Oscar season. That's when they start really forking out their doughs. But I mean, Apple's got disposable income like up the ass.
They're probably going to put it on your phone. It's going to pop up,
and that's what scares me, though, is that I have not seen one Apple movie that's been released physically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, am I never going to get Killers of the Flower Moon on Blu-ray?
Oh, because you think that they'll probably just go direct into just...
So that's what they were going to do that with The Irishman, because it was a Netflix movie. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh man, I'm going to have to buy like a bootleg of The Irishman. And then Criterion, they made a deal with Netflix, so they were releasing like their movies. So Criterion made a really nice set of The Irishman.
I would think it would be a stupid move for Apple to not do so, because that is just another way,
another avenue,
Mm-hmm. And I think, especially a Scorsese film.
Oh yeah,
this cast itself is the royalty.
Mm-hmm.
When you have the royalty do something.
Oh yeah, like you got De Niro, you got his second. His De Niro number 2, DiCaprio.
Exactly. So when you have the royalty doing something like this, for sure someone's going to want a copy of this.
Sure. And I'm probably going to buy the fucking bootleg also. So
movie night over at Chris's.
Yeah. Hey. Hell yeah.
All right, let's keep on trucking here, guys. All right, best part of the movie. I want to go with Gabe first.
So do I.
Oh, okay.
Because I already know you're glowing like a flower. You're growing.
I know.
Here. So, I want to see the
30
moon
minutes
side.
on film.
Let's go to the moon side over here.
I actually what I kind of thought was like the best part was when all the sisters were gathered together and they were gossiping about the guys.
Yeah.
And it showed
in their language.
Yeah.
The part was it the
it
church
was the
yeah. And it just showed like that family that they had, and
interesting.
And then you kind of started looking at, or as you watch the movie, you realize like that was really like the last time that they were all together.
Yeah.
And so when I saw the movie the second time, that part really stood out to me as like a really great part of the movie.
Because it all turns from that
point.
point.
It turns right after that point. Everything starts to turn and go down the negative path for the family. And then the other part, of course, is like Jesse Plemons. When he enters, everything after that is great.
Oh,
Once he enters and they open the door and put him up on the screen, he brings his presence to the movie.
His
and
persona,
boom,
his dude,
his eyes, like
I think it is, dude.
He lit it up. I was really impressed.
His eyes
with
and his delivery. I feel just because like the way his voice is too,
very reserved,
very
yeah. You seem like he looks like he's a smart motherfucker.
I wanted to tap into what you were talking about the sisters. One thing that I've noticed when I was obviously watching the film, I did catch that how they were just. You could see was that the bond, they're fucking around talking shit.
Yeah.
But it showed that they weren't really stupid because they knew what all the white man was doing.
Yeah, what did Hale say? Don't be a blackbird. Chirp, 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 chirp. Yeah.
Because they're listening.
They're fucking listening.
They're listening.
And it was that moment there you could see that they're playing the same game too. They're just going ahead and having their fun with these fools.
With the white guys.
Yeah, because they know what's up. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Then they're using them in their little game that they're playing. As far as whatever it is that they're trying to do outside of that.
Yeah.
So
I would like them to have like delved in a little more into why the women. And I don't know if it was all Native American females or just this particular tribe in the story, why they were so, I don't want to say obsessed with marrying white men or why this was a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, you don't really see it because, of course, it's almost like a one-sided portrayal, but you don't see a lot of the women trying to stay traditional with their own, I don't want to say their own race.
Even though the mom was asking them, why?
Yeah,
our blood is watered down. And,
I think what it is, this is just my opinion, the money. The money comes into play. Now they're at a level and they're not playing checkers no more. They're playing chess with the white man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel that they knew what to do, just how
But maybe getting access to their money.
Yeah.
That's the other part, because they needed a guardian in order to get access to their money.
Exactly.
They married a white guy. It unlocks the money and they have the access to the money.
And who knows what? I mean, again, obviously this is a film, and I don't know the true story of everything that had really happened.
Everything's kind of embellished a little bit,
right? But I mean, they're playing their cards too.
Yeah.
So and now they're able to play the white man's game.
Yeah.
That's just the reality. So, I think that's the reason why the women were doing that. And again, like you said, it's just to play with the money and get that access and to do what they got to do with it.
Yeah. What do you think was the best part?
I love the scene between Ernest and William Hale. Like right when he comes back, he gets off the train, he takes him to his den in his house, and you see how stupid Leonardo DiCaprio is.
Yes,
and King is basically laying out the whole plan.
Yes,
and I'm using Leo as a focal point for the audience. Because you don't really understand that either. Because he's just vomiting this whole plan at you, and you're not ready for it. Because you just sat down, like the movie just started.
He just showed up.
Yeah, I've been here 10 minutes. Like I'm still trying to like take in where I am.
Already telling you, this is what we're trying to do.
Yeah, but I fucking love that exchange between them two, and because Leo's a big improviser. Like he loves to improv, and you can kind of see like De Niro just like throwing things at Leo, and like there's that he says something to him, and like he starts laughing, and he looks back at his brother, and it looks a little
about the women.
So he says something to him, and they're laughing, and it's like you're like that was not that had to have been improv because just their reaction was so genuine.
You didn't pick up any disease over there, did you?
No.
Sure?
I'm sure, sir. Sure. Not that I know of.
Keep that thing wrapped up over there?
I did.
Well, as best you could.
As best I could.
You like women?
Oh, you know I like women. That's my weakness.
What kinds they got out there?
Just white. It's white that I saw.
Mm-hmm. You like red?
Red? I mean that kind of red?
Mm-hmm.
I like red. I like white. I like blue. I like all of them. Don't matter to me. I'm greedy. I like the heavy ones. I like the heavy ones, the pretty ones, soft, ones that smell good, you know.
Well, we got to keep an eye on you. You're just you're gonna run all over the place. Speaking of that, hey, bye.
And then of course, there's the part at once Tom White comes to the house, and he's telling like, "Oh, I want to see your wife." You know, he's like, "Oh, come back Friday, come back Friday," and then he fucking runs to that parade, and he's fucking freaking out, telling King like the fucking Federal Bureau of Investigations on my house, like, you know, he's fucking yelling at him, and fucking Robert De Niro's like, "Settle down, settle down." He's fucking pulling his ear. And he's all, like, that had to have been fucking real. Because he keeps fucking yanking his ear and he's like, settle down, settle down.
I'm Margaret King. They came to my house. They came to my house, private investigators. Don't like watch work came to my house.
Your house?
My house, yeah.
Who told you that?
I don't know what they wanted. They just came to my house.
What'd you do?
Look, I'm real worried. They knew something. They're just the first ones, all right? There's going to be more of them. And
settle down.
They're going to know something. They're going to know that we did something. King, you got to talk about this right
You
now.
got to settle down. Settle down. You understand?
I do.
You get hold of yourself.
I am.
Get hold of
I'm
yourself
trying.
and you settle.
I am trying. But you
Settle down.
When are we
Right
gonna,
now. Now.
when are we going to talk?
Now. We'll talk later. Not now. Not now.
All right.
I told my daughter, we were sitting there watching, I'm like, I'm going to start doing that to you guys.
Settle down.
I mean, it's a little late, don't you think? They're
No.
already over.
Not at all.
Yeah. I would have to say my favorite part of the film would be towards the last act.
I got another part too. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. No. I'm just
pretty
thinking
much
now.
the last act of everything. Once the FBI comes into play and it just starts.
Just the balls rolling.
The ball is just, everything's just getting torn apart and just how they're infiltrating, how they're just doing all the research. And then when they gathered up and they were sharing information.
Dude, isn't that dope? And out walks the Indian guy who was like undercover. We're like, fuck yeah.
Because I was waiting for that because I was like,
who is that guy?
What is this dude? And everyone's just like, and it totally made sense. Once he came out, I was like, damn.
He was like undercover.
They were already in on this, which is interesting.
I wonder if that's a remnant of the first draft, like the procedural stuff. Like,
interesting.
Because it felt like like you said, third act, it's really moving.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a different movie at times.
It is. I think it
so.
did,
It's like I wonder if those are remnants of
movie.
And I was like, I'm down.
I was just watching it, just waiting for them to start breaking it down and putting the pieces together and everything.
And they were just like laying out the little aspects. I watched a podcast, these two dudes talking about this movie, and they're like, we don't know what you expect going to see this movie. He's like, but this is a fucking crime movie. He's like, it's just taking place in a different time.
Yeah.
Like, it's a straight up organized crime fucking movie that Martin Scorsese makes. It's just in a different time.
Another gangster movie, man.
It's another gangster movie.
That's what it is.
Era.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much. And it was just funny, too, going back to that point when they met up in that field and then the fire started and then how he said, he just put a claim and looked like, what did he say?
He's like, you got some work
tomorrow
morning.
Insurance man.
Work tomorrow, insurance man. So that was kind of pretty cool. I mean, for me, I think that was like probably the best part of the film.
Yeah, that's a good part.
Ask anyone involved with the production. What the fuck, how the fuck, and why the fuck. I have one thing that really annoyed me, and I was talking to
go for
Moses about that. So tapping in on the fire at the ranch or whatever.
Yeah, his little cattle ranch.
So the shot where Leo was
I know what you're gonna say.
Carrying, for Molly, and then you can see the fire in the background was the worst. It was like Leo in
the beach or something.
The beach falling on this fake waterfall behind him, and stuff like that. I didn't like that.
But was that real?
We know it was real. That's
but was somebody dreaming? Is it metaphoric? Because that cattle ranch is too far from their house for him to see it.
But I thought they were staying at that ranch.
No, they were staying at their house. See, so and there's another element too, because so spoilers to whoever's listening to this that has not watched the movie. Spoilers.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah. They're saying put this in her insulin. It's just going to slow her down.
Yeah.
And we all assume it's poison.
Yeah.
She's getting worse the whole time. And then there's that small scene where he pours it into his whiskey and then he drinks it. It's like, what was that about? Was he trying to kill himself, or was he trying to reassure himself that like, I'm not killing her?
Yeah, there's
because I didn't die.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So it's like,
I think it was the lather.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so it's like there's some stuff that's there for interpretation. Just like, again, spoilers, everybody, when the owl comes to her bedroom.
Yeah.
And then, of course, she looks up and it's her husband walking in the door and she's telling him, like, you're next. What did she mean by that? Did she mean, like, you're going to be the next one to die, or you're the next one to kill somebody? You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's little levels of interpretation.
That's where I was curious, though, when she said, you're next. I go, okay, either this fool's going to die, but then maybe she's saying, you're next because I'm going to die.
Right.
Because she was pretty much probably the last one.
Yeah.
So that's how I interpret it, though. But going back to that whole thing, seeing the fire behind the windows and stuff, I still think I didn't like that.
You didn't like how method it was?
No, it just looked too generic.
Okay.
It just I could go to, like I was telling him, Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's what. Yeah, you're right. Because the way that how they like shine the light on they put the fan on and the paper's moving.
It looks way more more realistic or anything. Whether it's not, it's like at least put some effort into, that whole thing.
The guy's 81, bro. Come on.
Well, then once we get into some other stuff, I got some other things for our verses. But
all right.
How about you?
I went with were they able to really stay on budget?
I know,
you have
right?
so many big names in this ensemble cast.
And where they're shooting?
Yes, and where they're shooting, it's in a remote location. It's on site.
Yeah, 200 seems low, right?
Yeah. So it just seems like, Leo, De Niro, Lithgow, Clemens,
fucking
Frazier.
Yeah.
Tattoo Cardinal. She was a big Indian actress, a lot of big names. She was in Wind River. So a lot of big names that are a part of this film. I mean, it's just crazy. And then you're out there in the middle of Oklahoma. And I was just in Oklahoma not too long ago. And my son and his girlfriend,
Oklahoma.
they live in Oklahoma. And they were like, we were heading out and we didn't go right past it, but they're like, it's only like 35 minutes away from Tulsa, like where this thing was, like where it all went down and stuff like that. So it's pretty crazy.
They built the city up, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that still there, or is it already
I
gone?
don't know. I didn't look it up. I should have looked it up.
I was curious because some places they'll leave production up like that, and then they just reutilize that for
especially
other
like the neighborhoods, because those neighborhoods look like they're pretty they're pretty built up.
Yeah.
I mean, 200 million. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gotta call the accountants, check it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, they made 900 billion, so.
Right. Tax write-off. Yeah. Tax write-off.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's just reality when you really look at studios. People tend to forget, like, these studios, they do tax write-offs on stuff. So they
especially
say,
on losers. Yeah.
Money loss, all this film didn't make anything. Studios got like, no.
I know WB's taking a big, because they were going to scrap that Acme versus the Coyote or whatever.
Yeah, but then I reversed it.
Well, and then a congressman was saying, like, I think we need to look into their tactics because this is the second movie that they've tried to do this with.
Was it Screen? Someone put up a post on that.
Yeah.
Saying,
I was like, it was Hollywood Reporter.
Or was it?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah. It was out yesterday or today.
Yeah.
But,
All right, how about you, Chris?
I just, my why the fuck is, and it's not a major why the fuck, it's just, it's a nice why the fuck. Like, why did they change from the original idea of the police procedural? I get it. I know they wanted to steer clear of like the whole white savior mentality because they were even saying too, like, that's basically what the book is. Like, Tom White comes in there to save the day, to figure out what's going on. And
but it still happens.
It still happens. But I would like to have seen that. Like, why change it? And of course, it's at the behest of Leonardo DiCaprio, who's one of the producing partners.
Yeah.
He's the name. We got to kind of listen to him.
That's what my research came across.
Yeah,
like he influenced the change to try to be more along the lines of a love story,
which is cool.
Not so much of the cop story.
And I like the conflicted love story, because like the whole movie, you're like, does he really love her? Or is he trying to just kill her? Or is he so stupid he can't fucking decide?
Yeah.
And then does she love him so much that she's okay with him killing her?
Yeah.
Because she tells him, like, I had a dream. We put all of your secrets in a box and we just dumped them into the river.
Yeah.
And you're like, God damn, woman. Even at the end, she was like, did you know what was in that vial?
All he had to do was say yes.
If he would have said yes,
she would have stayed with him.
Yeah.
She was just
crazy.
All she wanted was for him to just
Be
let it
honest.
out.
Yeah,
That's it.
stop being a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You fucking moron.
I know you're an idiot, and I know you
Yeah.
got used.
I know you don't know you're an idiot, but
Yeah.
I know you're an idiot.
and that's the thing though too. I think she was really smart. You know,
Very strong.
Molly
Yeah.
was smart, strong. She knew things that were happening even within her own family, like how things were going.
Yeah.
But for her to be able to just even at that point, like, hey, just tell me because I know I'm not dumb.
Yeah.
I just need you to just realize, what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she knew
She was
that
giving him so many chances.
because she did really care for him,
Yeah.
and she knew that he actually did love her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, he did care for her even when she was sick. Like he tended to her. I know he drank and
Yeah.
went to the pool hall and did other things, but he was also tending to her care as well. So
Yeah.
He just was kind of shitty.
yeah, he was bad about it for sure. Yeah.
He's just a dumbass. All right. Oscar predictions.
Oscar predictions.
Out of this film here. Ooh.
So there's two major
tough.
standouts for me. One is Robbie Robertson, who did the score.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the score was great
Yeah.
because even though there's only like 3 or 4 songs,
It's repetitive.
Yeah, it's very
for sure.
repetitive. To a
it
lot,
keeps
yeah.
the momentum going.
Yeah.
And of course, he just passed away in October, I think.
Mm.
Oh.
So I do feel he's gonna get a nomination. What is it, posthumously? Because he passed away. And then the other big one for me is Thelma Schoonmaker, the editor.
Mm.
Like she's edited
Okay.
all of Scorsese's movies, and she's another one. She's got to be like 80 years old. She went from hand cutting film
Right.
with I think it was Raging Bull was the first one she did, to like now she's doing all digital. And I mean,
Yeah.
it still has her flair. Watching this movie, I'm like, God damn, this lady's been doing it since like 81, and she still fucking does it. Like that shit stood out a lot for me. Those are my 2 choices.
It's Lily Gladstone for me.
Yeah, she's good.
Best actress.
Yeah.
I only had the one.
Mm.
I don't think it's really going to win any other awards other than that's the potential.
For
So,
best.
I think it's
best
a great
actress.
movie, but I don't think I don't know. I think there's 2 or 3 other ones that are out there that are
I
going
know
to
it's tough, dude.
come here at the end of the year that are going to
Dude,
It's gonna
coming
be
strong.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Hopefully, the Marvels and stuff like that take it all.
Yeah, for sure.
They're gonna get the award for shortest runtime.
Madam Webb's going to get him here.
Oh, goodness.
Well, that's a
Oh,
whole other
goodness.
conversation. there,
Oh,
man.
goodness.
Oh man, I don't know. I really don't have any pick, to be honest. It was kind of difficult for me because I just feel as though like everybody kind of brought what they
A-game.
brought. Yeah,
You know what?
For me, it's just difficult to really say this and that. I mean, I see all your guys' points,
Yeah.
which are very valid, and
Yeah.
I agree. But at the same time,
It's tough.
without these other certain people, the film wouldn't be what it is.
Totally.
It's a little bit of goosebumps because kind of going off of what you said, I was telling my wife when we went to go watch it together the first time, like every person that was on screen like had a presence, whether it was the guys that they were going to perform the duties and
Or
those
the
old
guy that-
cowboys.
like
Or the
Black,
guy
you know,
that got
or-
shot.
Exactly,
Yeah.
the-
That
like-
guy, holy shit.
I think
Yeah.
that was like if there was an Oscar for ensemble cast of like everybody bringing it,
Yeah.
everybody brought it, in this movie.
I agree. Every single character
Stood out
stood out.
at
Yeah.
their moment. Even the
Mhm.
guy that's like the dude with the fucking mustache and the one bad eye, and he's like,
Yeah.
he's all,
Yeah.
is this how it's gonna go then? And he's like, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, get your pencils. Like,
I understand you know something about the Henry Rome murder.
Why, I don't know nothing about it.
Well, I have a man here who says he's your friend who says you do know something about it.
Who is he? So this is on my neck?
Yes, sir.
Get your pencils.
Hey,
They
that
went-
was hilarious
dude,
when he said that. He was get your pencils.
dude.
Yeah.
They must have went back in a fucking time machine and plucked that guy out of like 1920
he
fucking
fit
Oklahoma.
Oh yeah.
That era so
Dude.
fucking well, dude.
Yeah, for
like
real.
just that guy, he really stood out, and
Mhm.
he wasn't even in. He was like what, maybe 3
2 or
scenes?
3 scenes, yeah.
if anything.
Yeah.
But he
right?
stood out.
Yep.
But he stood out for
Yeah.
what he did and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
An idiot fucked up. He didn't shoot. He didn't shoot in the
Oh,
forehead.
my
Shoot him in the head.
And
in
how many
front.
times in this movie were you guys like, are you fucking stupid?
Yeah.
Like that guy didn't shoot him he shot him in the back of the head. Like fucking Ernest, you're a fucking idiot. Like, and like, why would they keep going back to these guys knowing they're fucking stupid?
Because they're dumbasses as well.
Exactly. Everyone was stupid in this thing, and I think that goes on to the next part right here. Weakest link in the film. Anybody who was stupid.
Yeah, because I don't have a specific person.
I don't have a specific, like...
I do.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So, I have to say the weakest link of the film is Leo. But not necessarily Leo as the actor, but having to play Ernest. And this was my note
having to play a weak character?
Yes.
Okay.
So, this is a big movie. Did the nature of the character limit the emotional depth that Leo could have with this character? And, you know, were the other actors able to pick up the slack enough to make this a timeless movie? And I think he was trying to build like an epic movie. It's a great movie, but I don't know if it's an epic feature. And when you have Leo as the front character of this, and I don't really think that he carries the movie, not because it's Leo's acting, it's because the depth of the character that he has to play. It's very limited. So
I thought, like how you said, it's a very push and pull with the entire cast. Like whenever you're on the screen, you're heavy lifting, and then you're gonna throw me the ball, and I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna do my part. That's what it felt to me. Like I felt I don't think that Lily Gladstone was weak when she's in the scene by herself, and I didn't think DiCaprio was weak when he's in the scene by himself. I think when they're together, it's fucking electric.
Sure.
And it's the same thing, like, you put Leo together with De Niro, you're like, God damn. Like, I don't, like, because, like, our next question is, you know, top 3 performers. I think it's Leo, Lily, and De Niro. Like, because those guys are just like.
I got Leo, Lily, and Jesse.
And see, that too.
I like that
I
one
can
too.
say that also. I totally agree with that too. I just think, because I just picked those 3 guys because they're in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, they're there the whole time. And I haven't seen De Niro be this menacing in forever. Well, like since like Cape Fear.
Well, no. What about Goodfellas? That guy was.
I think Cape Fear is post Goodfellas. Cape Fear is 93, I think, and Goodfellas is 1990.
He wasn't menacing in The Irishman.
I didn't think so. I kind of felt more like he was a family guy that had to do what he had to do.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I was just gonna say. Yeah, he was just playing the game because he had to play the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't like that was his goal.
Yeah.
Where his goal was like since the beginning was the money and being able to
he laid it out. Yeah. He's a fucking chameleon. Like,
yes.
A good snake in the grass, dude.
How
about all right, well.
What about Dirty Grandpa? You brought in Dirty Grandpa.
I skipped. I haven't seen that one yet.
Well, we got to put that on our list.
It's actually pretty enjoyable overall.
It's entertaining.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, it's entertaining. Yeah. It's not something where it's just like you're. Yeah.
Chris is gonna be like, "Oh my god, I'm dumber after watching this movie."
The podcast is devolved into.
I don't understand his method in here. What was his motivation?
Yeah, what was his motivation to take his shirt off and be a 65-year-old man in great shape?
And like you watch that too, you're like thinking like, why did you pick that movie? You know what I'm saying? Like you go from Irishman, you know, this, and then Dirty Grandpa. It's like, what the fuck?
Because he wants to have fun.
I guess. He just had a baby, and his wife is 38.
Well, look at Pacino.
Hey, it's the same thing.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. Hey, that's why they're the gods of.
Absolutely.
Which character is most likely to have a Twitter account?
I think we're supposed to change the social media account. My bad.
Oh, sorry. Which character is most likely to have a social media account?
Ernest.
I got Anna.
I was going to say Anna.
Anna's the one.
She's the party girl sister.
She's a party girl. She's going to be posting all drunk with girls and everything.
Absolutely.
Like that. I say Anna.
She's flashing her gun out of her purse.
She takes a picture with her.
Hey,
exactly. I just said Ernest because he's like, you know, I love that money, sir. Yeah. I like them women. Because I was like, well, whole fucking town knows. Her sisters know he's a fucking hoe. You know, his wife knows he's a hoe. Like, guy needs a fucking Facebook or whatever.
Yeah. All right. Independent thoughts on the film. Any personal ranking, guys?
I love the movie. Damn. Sorry, Gabe. I liked it more than The Irishman.
Yeah, me too.
I did too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because I know we love The Irishman.
Yeah,
Like The Irishman, you just throw it on, just like, just let it play.
yeah. I've done that in the background probably 20 times.
Yeah. So
Yeah, just let it go.
that's why it's like, it has to come out.
You could take a couple leaks during The Irishman.
You can.
You could probably take. You could probably take
but
a
I would
shit
pause
during The
it.
Irishman.
I'd pause it though.
No,
I don't like to
That's
miss
what
it.
I'm saying. But you're different. You don't count.
I put it on the side table, like kind of in the background with like a headphone in, listening to
There
it
you
when I
go.
go to sleep. The Irishman, because
Yeah.
I like the music. I like some of those types of things.
There's
but,
only certain scenes I think where I'm
Yeah.
really like
fully
boom, I'm
engaged.
in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's just kind of it's just there.
Yeah. So what about give it a ranking overall? What would you have this as?
Wait, hold on.
Oh.
Do we have a number in ranking? Like, are we kind of?
I always go at a 10.
We always do 10s, right?
Yeah, I always
Is
do
that
10.
what we always?
Because
do?
then you can
Okay.
get that
Yeah.
point
Just double
in there,
check it.
that,
Yeah,
that
yeah, okay.
0.5, whatever.
All right, Chris, go for that.
Shit, out of 10, this is a 9 for me.
Yeah.
Maybe a 9.5. Because it's like because if you say like, hey, Chris, you want to watch Killers of the Flower Moon? You want to watch Goodfellas? Like, I have to watch Goodfellas because Goodfellas is a fucking perfect 10. And if they're like, Chris, Killers or Casino? I'm like, probably Casino because Casino is a fucking perfect 10.
Yeah.
This one is almost perfect, and I think the reason why it's not a perfect 10 is because of the length. Because I know, sit down and watch Goodfellas, 2 hours and 20 minutes, I'm out.
Yeah.
Casino, it's almost 3 hours, I'm out. This one is motherfucker pushing it. Like,
So
it's a great movie.
I'm an 8.5
That's where I'm
on
at.
it. And I think for me it's pace, and it's not that it was ever really
pacing.
slow, but it just the pace was very methodical the entire way until Jesse comes on the screen, and then after
that's
that
when it starts
everything
rocking and
starts to
rolling.
pick up, of course. But
Dude.
that's an hour and a half, almost 2 hours into a 3.5 hour
Because
movie.
you could have squeezed, and I agree, I just want to say I'm at an 8.5 as well too.
Because of the pace.
The pace, maybe even an 8 to be honest. But
It's slow.
it is slow. I think you could have chopped out a lot of stuff out of there just to kind of like cut. You could have cut a half hour out of that. To be honest.
Oh yeah.
Like really.
Totally. And I think
solid.
because I think I sent you guys that quote from Scorsese, and he was like, he modeled it after like Beau is Afraid and like Midsommar, and we're like, oh my God, this motherfucker's gonna be long and slow.
Yeah.
Which it was. This was very, very off kilter from what he normally does.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he told Thelma like, okay, cut it the way you normally cut it, but cut it a lot slower.
Yeah.
and
Take
like
your time.
you can feel it too. Like
And I think that's a big part of this film. What I at the same time I kind of like, because it fits well, that for it to just cruise through like
that's the time period too.
It is. It makes sense with the time period, because the time period, their way of thinking, that how it wasn't like fast paced shit. It was very slow. The town's got that new money now in there.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense, I guess. Though, but
I love those Goodfellas type flashes though, where it's like they're going to collect their money and then they're cutting to the still shots of like the family.
Oh yeah.
And then they'll be telling about the crime that just happened, and they'll cut to the crime happening. There's only one dolly zoom. And I noticed it was like in
Which
the courtroom.
He's very, very, very known for doing that. The Hitchcock.
Yeah, they're like, that whip pan.
Yeah. Wasn't too much of that in there, which I kind of liked, that it was not as typical for Scorsese.
Yeah, it would have been like it would have played against the flow of the movie.
Yeah. All right. What does Monday look like?
I couldn't answer this one.
Well, they already kind of say it when you think about it, because everyone goes to jail.
Yeah.
and,
It's grim, sad.
Everything's
Sad
It
ending.
is what it is.
My hope would have been that the Osage natives would have became the warriors,
Like how they were
fought back, like
how they were threatening the whole time?
threatening to
Yeah.
do. They
even
would
in the
have actually
courtroom.
did it, and King Hale would have been scalped. Like that's
But
Too Hollywood.
I know, but that would have been sweet.
That's Thunderheart.
'Cause
With Val Kilmer.
Oh, yeah.
The reality is, they didn't have the power like
No,
that.
they didn't.
Hence why
They didn't.
they're all where they're at now.
Yeah, so
Yes.
Unless you're a San Manuel, or Yamava. And
Oh, they changed it.
Oh,
They changed it.
unless you went into the casino business, you're poor as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's because the white man conquered.
Oh yeah. They did.
Wow, that's depressing, Michael. Thank you for that.
Way to end it, Wacko.
Yeah.
And
Hey, thank
don't
you.
forget,
Yeah.
make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms. 90 minutes on film. That's 90 the number, MINS. And also make sure you guys check out these Knuckleheads podcasts, which we have, Chris.
Dogs, Fiction, and Brown is a podcast for fans of Tarantino, brought to you by fans of Tarantino. And that's my co-host right there, Gabe Jacobo.
Yeah, man.
And then you also have...
I have Fairway Conversations, the podcast for the Weekend Warrior golfer. And we've got some good guests that are coming up on that podcast, so make sure you give it a listen.
Nice. It's nice that other people are starting to come in and play with your balls.
Oh, yeah.
So make sure you guys...
hit them straight.
Hit them on social media platforms. And be sure to follow us as well. You can see our social medias in our 90 Minutes on Film social medias. Yes. This is a good one, guys. Really like this film.
Yes.
Hopefully I'll get another chance to probably check it out again, just depending on my time. But I love this one, man. All right, guys. Catch you next one.
See ya.